Borderlands 1, one of my favorite games. Definitely a blast from the past. Loved playing it back in the day, and recently picked it up again because I've had an itch that I had to scratch of hunting some pearlescents. I don't think I remember getting any legit. Well, I remember back in the day I played on console, had some of the hacked thing, so I wouldn't consider anything I had back in the day legit, even though if I got it from a drop. It was mostly just the stupid insta-kill shotgun and the classic Rose Omega, 2 billion shield. And I just really want to hunt some. So I've been playing some, and in this I just do a run. I come here to Cromrax, kill them, see if I get anything good. Definitely hunting for a pearl here, and then I go and do an armory run. Get to the armory treasury room or whatever it's called, and loot all the chests. And when I was still doing this, I was also still looking for some legendaries, but man, it's a classic game, and I really want to hunt for those pearls because I know they're rare, and it'd feel so good to get one. And so here I am, just kind of grinding away here. It took me quite a while to get to this point. I did do the glitch for the armory glitch and continue to do the armory glitch. I guess it's just a silly glitch just to farm, but I have some pretty good legendaries at this point. The 4 guns I'm using are in the first slot. It's a pretty damn good Hellfire, which maybe you'll see in the menu, the inventory menu. And then I have, I think in the second slot is the what's it called, the Defiler or whatever, Pestilent Defiler, with pretty high stats. I haven't found it's like the best one I found. Pretty much all these are the best. And in the third slot, I have the Orion Shock Sniper to kill those fucking bastards of the little worms. Those are literally the worst. And then in the fourth slot, whatever SMG, I think Double Anarchy at this point, or both the Savior for ammo regen. And that fourth slot is for Cromrax. So, yep, start out by trying to get the minions I want. I want just either the purple or the green guys. They're pretty easy to run from, and they don't do too much damage. So there you can see I got all 4 there, and just switch to my double anarchy now to start chipping away at Cromrax. I have the 3 minion spawns I want, because if you don't know, there's only a max of 3, and you kind of just can kill and cycle through them until you get it. So I have, I don't know, whatever green or purple ones that move slow, don't do too much damage and stuff, allowing me to easily do this and just take on my double anarchy and just shoot the shit out of Cromrax. And this is still earlier on into me developing kind of this method, or whatever. I'm sure it's a popular method, but this is kind of what I found worked for me. And I gotta fix the minion because I guess I killed one, and now that fucking worm spawned again. But yeah, so I could just kind of shoot wherever near the purple things. I've developed probably a better strat of trying to shoot the back one first. I think at this point I was kind of just shooting whatever I would see, but in more recent tries and more recent farms, I would shoot the back one first because that's the hardest one. That's the biggest one to the biggest bitch to deal with Cromrax. So this one just kind of shoot away at him and hope for the best, honestly, because the back is playing solo and trying to shoot the back is a pain. But it's fun. I mostly just play this solo, just chill with some music, and just see if I can get some pearls here. And I switched to between my Savior back and forth to regen some ammo. I think I forget to switch between class mods as well. I know I have a pretty good class mod that I should have been using for Cromrax. But this just brings me back, I played so much of this game in like middle school, which maybe shows you how old and how dated I am. I don't know. No, I'm not too old, but I guess older. And there you go, shooting the back. That's probably the best strat here, and definitely didn't have the best strats as a kid. Probably sucked quite a bit. I remember I played Mordecai, started on a Mordecai, and used Bloodwing, loved Bloodwing, and yeah, at some point as a kid, one of my friends got the hack shotgun at whatever. I think you could even use it at whatever level, and just breeze through the game. Like I don't even remember what challenge there was in the game at that point. Just having the insta kill shotgun and the Rosa Mega shield too, the 2 billion shield at that point. So coming back and playing it like a true adult and a true farmer, a true like achiever, and trying to actually find some pearls, and it's they're very rare, right? It's gonna take a lot of luck to get any or multiple or eventually all of them. I mean, that would be a dream to get all of them, but yeah, I think at this point in the game, just playing through the story, getting to max level 69, haha, nice 69. I found I think 2 of the shitty steel Undertaker pearl rocket launcher things. That stupid piece of shit at the top of my inventory right there. Um, it's a pretty horrible. Well, whatever level I had it at was pretty horrible. I don't know about level, max level. So I want them. This is a childhood dream of playing this game way more legit, I guess. Minus the armory glitch. But killing Cromrax with all legit weapons. I didn't hack any of this. This is a legit character, and back in the day I played Mordecai, and this I believe was the first time or the first character I made with Lilith, playing through and got all the way through. So everything here is legit over on my end. I remember for a lot of these legendaries did the actually I barely even played the DLC too as a kid. I mostly just did this shit, just killing Cromrax and the armory glitch with the glitched weapons on console. So I actually finally played the Claptrap DLC, and literally like for the first time. So that was pretty cool to get through. Nice, got the back finally. That bitch of a spot in the back. And yeah, I never knew in the Claptrap one, the whatever it's called, the Ninja Assassin Claptrap one, that there you could farm like the chests and the downstairs, and because I had never played it before. So I got a shit ton of legendaries from there. I got a shit ton more from doing some armory runs, and then included trying to do Cromrax into my runs. And it took me quite a while to actually even get my first Cromrax kill. It was a pretty cool journey, pretty cool achievement, because I don't think I've ever done it. I've definitely never done it solo up until this point, and had some of these guns. I think I had a pretty good Hellfire. I'm not sure if this exact one. I had this Defiler, fucking so good, and I think I had the Orion and probably a pretty decent Double Anarchy. And I remember I had this plan playing Lilith. I found a pretty good shield with some decent health regen and health boost, and a decent shield capacity with probably higher recharge rate. And I would just do this and kind of get the minions spawned, the 3 I want, and then kind of run around, shoot spots, and then when I would get hit or it would come near me, I would just phase out, phase to the other side, use up the whole phase period, heal up all the way, and just kind of do that the whole run. And sometimes I would change between Savior and Anarchy to regen SMG ammo, since I was using 2 SMGs. And I remember trying for quite a bit, and I had this really good run one time. It was on my way. It literally had a sliver of health, but it was the back spot, that bitch of a back spot. And I got a little too confident at the end. I was like, I got this, and I fucked up, and some minion, I don't know, hit me, and the Cromrax hit me, and pretty nice shield I find here, nice pickup. Can't remember what I use nowadays, but I'll take that health boost. over that. Much better. Gives me a lot more meat to tank with. And yeah, oh man, I remember I was having a good day. I was smoking some weed. I was excited to get my first kill. It had a sliver of health. I was doing the method, doing the procedure, and I fucked it up at the last minute. And he killed me with the slightest sliver of HP because of the back spot. And over these next few runs, I was getting the hang of it, and eventually I decided, why am I wasting time shooting the front spots when I should be starting with like trying to hit the back spots or the back spot. So I made that change over a few runs, but yeah, this is cool. This is one of, I don't know, the first of 5 kills I think I got where I decided to start recording all this. You know, record my history, hunting all these, and hunting for pearls, farming for pearls. And nothing on this kill, unfortunately. So, you know, never lucky. I mean, it's pretty fucking rare. But it'll be cool. It'll be cool to document this. This is kind of a first video. It's going to be some long videos. It's going to be a lot of rambling, but it's going to be cool. I have a lot on my mind. A lot of shit on my mind throughout the years, and playing games, talking about the games, and inserting, you know, snippets here and there about life, I think will be a nice outlet for me, and for anyone who enjoys, who watches this, or watches and enjoys. You know, thanks. To just fucking listen to my rambling, go on this journey with me of pearlescent hunting, and seeing some of these other random videos that I post. You know, there's some pretty cool games that I'll commentate over more specifically, and some of this gameplay like this, I'll just be rambling over. But Borderlands, classic game. We got Borderlands 4 coming out soon at this point, which I have not decided if I mean, I haven't looked at it. I haven't seen any of the trailers, so I have not decided at all if I'm going to play it, because in my opinion, I played Borderlands 3, you know, when it first came out. I was super excited about it. Paid $100 for the DLC. I'm sure maybe other people paid fucking money for it. You know, getting all the DLC and all the included stuff, the whatever the big package was, the premium package. Played the game through once with a friend or a couple friends. Was really unhappy with the game, and at the end of the game, I put it down and never touched it again. So I played it through once. Was pretty, I would say more than pretty, like extremely unhappy with what they did. I just, I don't know. You know, I try to be open minded, and look through people's posts and stuff online, what they say, and I know people are like, oh, the gameplay of it is good, and you know, it's fun like that, and I just couldn't. I played it once. I thought it was pretty boring. I thought the story was just fucking awful. Like, I don't know how they made this fucking whatever his name is at Gearbox, Randy Pitchfork or whatever his name is, Randy Savage. I just, he must have been on methamphetamines laced with like fucking bath salts. I don't know how you just make such a shitty game, and it disappointed me. You know, this, so I think that's enough complaining on Borderlands 3. But yeah, pretty undecided for Borderlands 4, because I don't know how they would ever come back from that. Like, and that's why I'm back playing these games. You know, people say Borderlands 3 gameplay is the best. When I played it, I didn't feel that at all when I was playing it. I thought, you know, I think just playing through a lot of the missions and stuff just kind of ruined whatever gameplay there was. You know, I like some of the stuff. Like, I remember, you know, some of the Hamlock side mission, or kind of detours throughout the quest, but, and believe it or not, you know, I did actually like a lot of the Tales of the Borderlands characters, even the fucking annoying ass, whatever his name is, midget, yeah, not midget, but I can't even remember his name. But you know, Reese, I liked some of the Reese stuff. I can't even remember what was in it, but I do remember enjoying some of the Reese, you know, cameos or whatever. parts he was in, and but so much of the other stuff was just kind of just awful. The enemy, the enemies, the main enemies, the twins. I thought it was a really cool idea. I really like that, and the them being kind of like the daughter or the sons and daughters of whatever his name is, Tyrone, or whatever the hell his name is, the first Vault Hunter guy. That was all cool. But again, they did it so poorly, and there's tons of people who saying where they could have done better. I'm not gonna try to say much more, but back to these games, I think these games just have perfect gunplay. Like I don't know what more you need than just aiming, holding down your fucking your left click, whatever, or maybe your trigger on console, and just fucking raining and just shitting bullets into an enemy. And Chrome Rocks is a bit different, but stuff like this with General Knox here, just take out my fucking defiler, and I just fucking headshot the shit out of him, and it just it's maybe there's definitely nostalgia. I can't pretend there's not, but this is good gunplay for me. This is gameplay. Just fucking shooting the shit out of someone in their fucking face, blowing them up, fucking exploding their brains. And so for me, Borderlands still has that charm for me. It still has that gun gameplay that I do love. I really don't feel like it's too dated. It's just you're just running and gunning, and yeah, I do love Borderlands 1. Always has a special place, and of course, moving on to Borderlands 2. That game is just it just is kind of peak Borderlands. The DLC in Borderlands 1 obviously pretty good, but the DLC in Borderlands 2, I mean, it just takes the base game that was already great of Borderlands 2, and man, they just did some pretty fucking amazing stuff with it. And I mean, talking about Borderlands 2, that story was amazing. The enemy, the fucking jack psychopath of a villain. I guess not an enemy. I meant villain. Of the main villain. I mean, come on. It was just so well done, and the stuff with like Roland and stuff added quite a bit to it, because that is how you kind of build up a story of you playing the character in Borderlands 1, and you meeting those characters you played in Borderlands 2 as a new character, and going through that, and finding all the good shit out. Jack's daughter, or his I don't even remember if I can't remember if she is biological, but anyway, Angel, finding out Angel is his daughter, and he's raised her and kept her captive and all that stuff. And for him to pop up and near the end there and kill one of the beloved characters. I don't know if it's Roland's beloved. I actually never played him. But maybe there'll be some gameplay of me playing him. I did start a character, but seeing a character that you played, maybe your friends played in the game before, watching him die right in front of your eyes. I mean, that's some good stuff. That's some good stuff. And I could ramble about Borderlands 2, but yeah, I mean, there's just and the skills in that game too. Obviously, the skills are so much superior in Borderlands 2 than in Borderlands 1. In Borderlands 2, I was a Zero main. That was the guy I played and have too many hours in. Might do some videos on that, revisit that game. But Boar, one of my favorite skills, just such a stupid skill. um, and yeah, Borderlands 2, man. They took Borderlands 1, what that was good. Everything good in Borderlands 1 just made it so much better in Borderlands 2. And that game was peak Borderlands. And Now, probably the least talked about game, Borderlands 1, Borderlands 2, Borderlands 3 get talked about a lot. There's a lot of discussion and a lot of things on that. But Borderlands, the pre-sequel, probably a fairly underrated, under-talked, under commentated, under shared. There's I don't remember watching a lot of videos on the pre-sequel, but as I did to Borderlands 2, but that game I think is also pretty fucking good. In my opinion, I would say it's far better than Borderlands 3. It's similar gunplay as Borderlands 2, similar kind of systems and stuff, minus the looting system, which is pretty different. Which, yeah, you can complain about, but they did something different with it, having the grinder in the game and stuff. So instead of grinding bosses for loot, you use the grinder. Come on, there's some good stuff there. I think Borderlands the pre-sequel is far superior of a game of a whole, even though it was not even, or like, there was unreleased content or whatever, not as, or there wasn't as many DLC as promised and stuff. So kind of an incomplete game, I guess, and to some degree, but better than whatever the fuck I played with Borderlands 3. The story in that game was fantastic. Playing it over and over again, maybe it gets a little stale. But I mean, come on, seeing, kind of working with Jack and seeing Jack, or John, I guess at the time, change from John into Jack, into handsome Jack. There was a lot of good shit. And so if you're watching this video and you haven't played pre-sequel, or you have it left a bad taste in your mouth, I would revisit it. Revisit it with an open mind. There's just so much good stuff. So much story that ties in, and so much backstory to Borderlands 2 and stuff after Borderlands 1. Even connecting still to Borderlands 1 and like Angel. It's just really good. And on top of that, then the one DLC they released for that game, or the one major DLC, the Claptraps, I can't remember, but that Claptrap DLC, that was good. It was really fucking good. And again, if you played the game and didn't play the DLC, highly recommend, get through the story, get to the DLC, and I promise you, the DLC will do it for you. It'll scratch that itch. It is dated now. Borderlands 3 came out, has been out. Borderlands 4 coming out. There might be some age, some aging there showing, but I think that the DLC there is still, the pre-sequel DLC still has quite a bit of charm to it. I mean, they did a really good job with it, and it definitely kind of balanced out some of the low points in the main story. Which honestly, again, in my opinion, I don't think there was too much low points in the story. To have high points, you have to have low points, and I think there were some pretty good high points in that story. Definitely a lot of high points in the DLC, so it all balanced out. So after this video ends in several minutes, go download, buy the pre-sequel or whatever, do whatever you want to get it, and give it another spin. I think the classes in that game are fun. The skills in that game are fun. Some of the guns in the game are pretty fun. Controversial, I think the low gravity adds to the game. It adds that bit of gameplay. I'm a double jumper and smashing addict, just in the low gravity, jumping up and kind of moving around, maneuvering, and then slamming down. It just, to me, it adds a bit of, I don't know. I don't know what to call that. I guess I have a word, but I don't want to say it. But I love doing that. I thought it was always fun to just hop around and slam and shit. And I thought it was a cool niche mechanic to play, on the moon and in moon gravity and stuff. And throughout the whole story, and having that other extra mechanic of like the vacuum versus atmosphere stuff. It did to me. It added interesting stuff. You know, people can complain or whatever, but I think it it was a nice gimmick. I'll say that. You know, yeah, it was gimmicky, but I think it was a nice gimmick to try out with the game. And same with kind of the grinder, another bit of a gimmick thing instead of hunting and farming bosses or whatever farmable whatever loot midgets or other mini bosses or like quest bosses or whatever, like there was in Borderlands 3. The grinder was just a new thing to try, and I don't think it was that horrible. So pre-sequel, give it another try. There'll be some videos on that. I've been playing a new character because again, I think the characters and skills in that game and abilities are actually pretty fucking cool. So in that game, I started out as Athena, got her to level 70 on console. Awesome, love the shield and the absorption and kind of reflection of damage back, and some of the other melee skills. Pretty cool stuff. Um, and now I recently played Jack, one of the DLC characters, got him up to level 70. Been having a ton of fun with him. There's a lot of fun ways to play these characters. They have some pretty cool builds, and yeah, there'll be a video, probably a video soon, of me trying to farm some level 70 gear on that, some max gear in that game. Hopefully, talking about, I don't know, something more fun. Just been fucking yapping here about Borderlands, but it's a start. It's just kind of the first installment here of all the many Borderlands videos that are to come. Just a fun game to just kind of relax with. This is a 30 or 40 minute run so far to hop in T-Bone Junction, get to Cromrax, kill his ass, check for pearls, and then run my over here, beat fucking General Knox's ass, and take his fucking loot. And in this installment, no luck. Quite a bit of legendaries, a few legendaries. I think this was the first bitch that I've gotten on this account. Out of all these other legendaries I've accumulated. So still finding a couple cool things, which is why I've been opening all the chests and not just the white crimson lance chests, because those are the ones that spawn a pearl. These big guys here. So yeah, thanks for coming down memory lane on Borderlands, and see you in the next one.